is seen from Israel at that time. Okay, and so this is all a yes, 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 yes. All right, so let's go to 1967. Let's look at this. Okay, now we're in 1967, 68. And here's the tetrad of those 2 years. And there's no, yes, and no. So this is a no, yes, no for 67 to 68. However, it was very clear what happened. The Six-Day War happened, and they came back into their, they captured Jerusalem. Okay, so you're not going to tell me that's not prophetic. Okay, that's exactly what needs to happen. They're getting closer and closer to rebuilding their temple, and that was the next step from just getting Israel, the state, back. Okay, it's all just happening in steps, gradually, in Elohim's timing. Now let's go to the next one. Okay, now we're in 2014, 2015. Total. That's the tetrad that we're looking at. Here we go. No, yes. All right. So, the first one here, we got yes, 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 yes. The second one, we've got no, yes, no. And this one is no, yes. All right. So, just because these three here are not going to be seen from Israel doesn't mean it's not prophetic. I mean, our Creator knows that we'd have the technology to be able to know when these things happen. That's the bottom line. It doesn't have to be seen there. However, it's very interesting that the first tetrad was a yes, 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 yes. That's a very big yes. All of them were seen as though that's a very big sign for the Jews after almost 2,000 years coming back into their homeland. It's a big sign, okay? 67, they took the next step, but the sign was just one blood moon seen from there. It doesn't matter. It still happened. And then here we go with another no, yes. But what's very interesting about, in the same way we had the beginning of this pattern, these are all yeses. This has 3 no's and a yes, and this has 3 no's and a yes. It's very interesting that the yes of this tetrad is a supermoon. Now, what do I mean by that? The term supermoon really just means when the moon is at perigee. And what that means is our moon orbits the Earth once a month. And it's roughly every 2 weeks. It's a new moon, which means that the moon passes the sun and we can't see it because it's daytime. We'd have to stare at the sun to see it. But we could see a day or two later, we can see the small sliver of the new moon. This is the new moon here. This is the shadow, because when the moon is passing the sun is obviously behind it because it's much farther away. But we're seeing the shadow. Actually, we don't even see it. We can't even see it. But then it starts passing to the left of the sun, which means that the light would then be on the right, and then it starts getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay, and then, roughly 2 weeks later, we come into, here's the new moon. A couple weeks later, there's the full moon. Okay, that happens every single month. Within this time period, because of the elliptical orbit, which means it's not a perfect circle, it's an elliptical orbit, at one part of this orbit, the moon is at a close, it's a close relation to Earth, and at the exact opposite of that trajectory, it's at the farthest point. Okay, when it's at the farthest point, of course, it looks smaller, and when it's at the largest or the closest point to Earth, it looks bigger. Those are not called, those are just called when the moon's at perigee. However, when perigee and the timing of the full moon both coincide, they call it a supermoon because it's going to be all lit up and it's going to be about as big as it's going to get. And so a lot of people like to take pictures at this time. So that's a little bit more rare. What's even more rare than that is when a supermoon coincides with a total eclipse, or any eclipse for that matter. But even more rare is a total eclipse at supermoon, which is exactly what this is. This is let's look at this one. This right here, we're looking at number 4. This is a supermoon having at perigee and at a total eclipse at the very same time. What's even more rare is why these tetrads are rare is because they fall on the Lord's feast days. So you've got something right here that is like very hard to calculate what the odds are that this one would happen. This, I believe, would also fall under the category of prophetic. Okay, so you've got this beginning, tetrad right here, which are all seen from Israel. Yes, 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 yes. And then this is a no, no, yes, no. And this is a no, 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 yes. However, the yes is the last one, and it kind of like bookends. There's a big sign here, and then there's a big sign literally right here, supermoon, total eclipse on the Lord's feast day. If that's not a sign, I don't know what is, because, Yahweh's in control of all this stuff. There's no coincidences. It's a big clock, and he's timed it. So, given the fact that this tetrad has something like this in it, no one's going to convince me that this isn't prophetic. And we need to realize that the temple needs to be rebuilt. The Jews need to get control of that area. They already got control of the land back in 1948, 49 when they came back. They got control of the capital, Jerusalem, which is their capital, their eternal capital. And no one's taking them away. Sorry, Arabs, Islamists, you're not gonna get that capital. You're not gonna get it. It's going to be taken away from you. The Temple Mount's going to be taken away from you. Your mosques are going to be taken away from you, and because they don't belong to you, and you are occupying, not the Israelis. Okay, just wanted to clear some of that stuff up, and more coming soon. I hope you are well and blessed, and I hope that you're saved. If you're not, please give your life to Yeshua HaMashiach, also known as Jesus Christ. He died for your sins. You need someone to pay for your sins because you can't pay for them. There's only 2 places to go. Either you're with Elohim, also known as, and most Christians just call him God. That's the title. That's not his name. Elohim also means God in Hebrew. His name is Yahweh. And his son's name is Yeshua, also known in the Greek word as Jesus. But you need to ask him into your heart. Romans 10:9 says that if you confess with your mouth, this is the English translation, if you can confess with your mouth that Jesus Christ is Lord, and you believe in your heart that his Father raised him from the dead, you will be saved. Please read that, meditate on it, and pray the prayer of salvation. Just ask him into your heart to take away your sins, and pray that you'd be counted worthy. In Luke 21:36, pray that you will be counted worthy. All Christians, all of you, you need to continue to pray this. It's important. You were commanded to. Pray that you're counted worthy to escape all these things. He was just talking about the tribulation, the day of the Lord, and all the things that are going to happen in Luke 21. Pray that you're worthy of escaping, not hiding in a cave or in the bushes away from the global police or something like that. The original word means to escape, to be removed. So that's the rapture of the church, which will happen before the day of the Lord, before the tribulation period. And it's coming very soon, because look what time it is. Look what time it is. All right? I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching my video. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Judah, don't do that. Judah, come on.